A Cactus Love Story by Kelsey Pittman. Tall and thin, he stood firm, with his tree-like branches outstretched toward the sky. I wonder if it'll be tonight, he said to himself in a sigh of sorts. The moon looked to be almost full the night before, and according to his calculations, it had been just over 50 weeks since he had last seen her. It must be soon, he thought, as he fell into a dream in spite of the harshly beating sun. He had loved her from the very first moment they met, from the very first moment he saw her. He loved her more still now. He waits, sometimes patiently, sometimes not so patiently, day after day and night after night, to catch a glimpse of his beloved. When the time comes around that she may appear, he will not sleep from dusk till dawn. This may go on for weeks. Last night was one of these aforementioned evenings, and so now he dozes in the midday sun. "Why do you even bother with her?" the other cacti say. "She will only bring you heartache," they insist. "Where is she when the sun is so hot we think even we shall perish, and the rains have not come for months on end?" And though he never responds, he recognizes the merit in what they say. After all, he's alone 364 days of the year. To love one who is ephemeral feels like suicide at times. He knows in his mind he should not wait in vain as he does, lingering on each and every moment of the night, watching, waiting. "Poor fool," they say of him as he snoozes through the afternoon. He knows how they speak of him, but in his heart he cannot even fathom the alternative. He is in love with her, and he always will be. He would wait 10 years if he had to, instead of only one. As dusk approaches and the sun goes down, and the oranges and reds and golds dance and swirl across the horizon, he sees the moon. "It's full! It's full!" And indeed it was exceptionally large and radiant still in the light of the sun even. Tonight's the night. He tried to straighten his stem and branches so as to look perfectly strong and stable while he waited that evening. Around midnight, as the other cacti slept soundly, he was steadfast in his patience and keenly aware of every movement across the entire desert. His heart swelled with anticipation. Then, all of a sudden, there she was. She appeared. White trumpet-like petals protruded from his branch, and an orange vanilla aroma permeated the air. The queen of the night had arrived. "My darling, we meet again," he said with a smile. "Hello, handsome," she responded, and they basked in the glory of their love for a few moments by the light of the moon. "I've missed you," he says. "And I you," she echoes as her petals graze his spiky surface unharmed. "They call me foolish for waiting every year like I do," he uttered. "And what do you think?" she said with sadness. "I see no value in contemplating that which falls beyond my breadth of power, my love. You see, I was destined to love you, and I couldn't stop it if I tried. I have tried, and yet it seems I'd rather wait for an eternity than to miss a moment with you. To lose a mere glimpse of your enchanting figure, of your delicate, perfect bloom, would be more than I could bear. I love you." "I love you too. There's nowhere else I'd rather be, and there never will be." They spoke of the happenings of the year. They spoke of their troubles, thoughts, and fears. She leaned against him ever so effortlessly, without the slightest caution for his spines. "You've grown into a fine cactus," she said. "And you a brilliant flower," he returned. And for those several hours they were whole and complete. As the dawn drew nearer, he could see her beautiful white petals begin to soften. Creases began to appear where she once was smooth. "My darling?" he asked. "Yes," she answered in a weakened tone. "When I see you again after a year's time, will you then still be mine?" She attempted to prop herself upright. "I will belong to you until the moon falls from the sky. As long as you live, so shall I and you. Never doubt my love, for I could never love another. I'm sorry it pains you to go on without me every... No, the only thing that ever pains me is not the wait. It's the incessant thinking of what I should have said when I had the chance. It's not being able to express to you what all you mean to me, for words do us no justice. You are my reason for living. I try to be strong and steady only so that you may exist for a few hours every year. I love you with all I have. And as her last wilted petal floated to the ground, she said to him, I take comfort in my own death, because I know every moment I've spent on this earth has been in love with you. I love you with all I am. And she perished. And as the sun beat down on the tiny wilted flower, the cactus thanked the powers that be for a beautiful evening, and he marked down the day in the sand so as to prepare for her next coming a year from this date.